Okay, today we're working on a 1998 Porsche Boxster or a Porsche 986. This car came with a broken driver's side left-handed lower control arm. So you can see it's snapped there. See the other side of it, kind of right there. So those two pieces were supposed to be connected, and because it's broken, you have this going on. And when this wheel came loose because of the lower control arm, it came up and bent the radiator core support, which is actually in the inside of the fender well here. You can see the bracket is bent out of shape. The tire came up and hit the lower AC cooler right here, and I believe the radiator has a small crack somewhere in this area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace both the AC cooler because it is bent, and I'm going to replace the radiator also. It's a very small part, and I'm going to go ahead and replace the entire radiator support bracket here, this bracket. And also this wire harness back here was frayed from the accident when the control arm broke. So I sealed the wires up for now, but just so that I wouldn't have any ground outs or blow any more fuses. And then the blinker broke here. Fender's a little bent here. But I'm going to go ahead and replace this control arm with a new one that just came in. This guy right here. So this mounts basically like this. To remove this, first thing I started removing was the lower ball joint bolt. This guy here. And this is a 18 millimeter. Cracked it loose. I'm going to leave it just on there barely, just so I can take off this upper control arm piece here. The bottom bolt is a 18 mil. The top one I believe is a 20 or 21. So I'm going to crack that loose, and then I'm going to go in and take that guy off. So I got an 18 millimeter on the forward side and a 16 mil on the back side. Unfortunately, with the way the frame is, there really is no way to get a socket up in there. So I'm using 2 box wrenches to take them off. 18 in the front, 16 in the back. Now with the old one removed, you can see where the crack happened. I'm not sure if it was a pothole or what it was, but definitely hit something to cause this to break, but there's no impound or, you know, where it might have hit something. So maybe it was just a bad bump, cracked it. But see the difference between the old and the new. This new one's a little more reinforced here in the center. And also this bushing in the for the upper control arm that goes out to the front of the frame. This guy right down in here, this thing, that mounts into this bushing here, and you can see that guy was getting ready to go bad also. Tie rod's real loose. Well, not tie rod, but the lower ball joint was real loose. So not bad, but definitely loose compared to this guy. Can't even move it. So we're gonna go ahead and install the new one. All right, so when mounting the new one, you want to slip it over this front control arm right here. You don't have to put the bolt in place, but that'll allow you to put that back in there. And then there's these access ways right here to put that long bolt in. That long bolt that holds that thing in, which is here. It's going to slide in back through here. And then go straight in, and you can line this guy up through there. So now the new one is mounted. Ball joint, the forward control arm, and then the low control arm joint right there. Had I had a 16 millimeter ratchet box wrench, I would have been good. It took a little bit longer than I expected, little turns at a time, but it's all there. That's mounted. This is mounted. And now I'm working on the radiator bracket just to get it out of the way so I can mount the wheel without it hitting that radiator anymore. The radiator bracket needs to be replaced, obviously. It's bent to shit right now, and the radiator itself is bent. But I'm just trying to work it in place so I can get the wheel mounted and be able to drive the car out of my driveway and onto the lift so I can take a better look at this car underneath. So that's it for today.